Hey guys, it's Alex from Cars on Board and welcome to another episode of Project Miata. So today we're going to replace the slave cylinder. When you step on your clutch, it presses fluid out of your clutch master cylinder through a hard line, and then I believe it goes through like a soft line into here, and this eventually pushes out and pushes the fork. That the fork is hooked up to your throwout bearing and pushes your clutch out. This is leaking on the Miata, so our clutch pedal is very soft and we're losing fluid and it's leaking everywhere, so I'm going to replace this. This is only 20 bucks at AutoZone, so it's a very simple fix. I've done it on 240s before. Same concept on the Miata. You basically thread this on, and you're going to need 2 people for this job. Once you install it, you're going to have to bleed it. You have to have someone pump the clutch like about 4 times, and then you're going to have them hold it down, and then you're going to let go of the needle so it bleeds and gets all the air out. Then you're going to close it and have them pump it and repeat that like 10 times, 5 to 10 times, and it should work until you get all the air out and you have constant fluid coming out. So stay tuned, guys. Here's a new one we're going to replace, and I found out the easiest way to probably do it is, there's the old one, hopefully you guys can see it, is to remove the top bolt from here, from taking the wheel out, and the bottom one, there's 2 bolts, there's one on the bottom. This bottom one, we'll get it from the bottom of the car, and then the hard line that hooks up here, we can get it from up here. So I'll do both those right now. So the first one you want to do is a hard line, because once you remove these 2 bolts that hold the bracket, this has a lot of pressure. There's fluid in here, so we want to release the fluid that's in there, because if we do this, it's going to push it out and it's going to bend the line. So you want to do that first. Alright guys, so we basically got it out now. Here's the old one and here's the new one. Everything looks pretty similar. It was really easy. I just took out 2 12mm bolts. First unthreaded the hard line. There's no soft line, just a hard line from what I saw. And then take these 2 12mm bolts, and it comes right out. Hopefully you guys can see. We'll see when we start editing. Now we're going to install a new one. First I'm going to clean it because it's really dirty in there. I'm going to clean it, and the reason why we're changing it is the clutch pedal is really soft, and we're leaking a lot of brake fluid, which I'm thinking it's from this guy, which is called the slave cylinder. Be careful you don't get this on your eyes, guys. Shit'll hurt. So we cleaned up all the leaks in there. We're gonna have to use like a pressure washer at one point with some Simple Green and actually like agitate it with the brush or something. But for now that'll work. Okay, so we're gonna put this fluid in here. You use brake fluid. .3, .4 I believe is better, but this is all I have here, so that's what I'm gonna use. So right now, as you can see, the reservoir is empty. This is where the clutch master cylinder is, and that's the brake master cylinder. They're identical. So you're gonna fluid, not identical, but they do the same purpose. Just this is for the clutch. This one's for the clutch. That's for the clutch. That's for the brakes. And I'm sure most of you guys know this, for the people that don't know. So we're gonna fill this up and try to fill it up as much as possible. And now your job is to get somebody to come help you. So what they're gonna do is gonna sit in the car. You're basically gonna have somebody, right now it's like dead, there's no pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're gonna hold it for you. They're gonna hold it for you until you open that nipple and air is gonna come out. And then once you tighten the nipple, then they can pump the clutch again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. and keep doing that until you get all the air out and you have pressure back in your clutch. All right, so for this step, before you start, the best way to do this is fill up your reservoir, loosen the nipple, and then to prime this guy so you get lines and air in the system. It works best for me. I'm not too sure if that's the best way to do it, but it works for me. I've done that with 240s before. So I'll leave this open and I'll pump it like 5 times until I start seeing leaking out of here. And then I'll come and tighten this again. So I have somebody sitting in the car ready to pump it, and I'm gonna have them pump it 5 times, and I'm gonna release the nipple, and then you guys can see what goes on. At the moment, the person that's in the car, they're holding the clutch down. They pumped it 10 times, and now I'm gonna release the nipple. And hopefully I don't get brake fluid on my camera, which will really suck. So we should get some air now. Air and fluid. Okay, so we got a lot of mostly fluid. So I'm gonna pump it 10 times again, and we'll hold it down. Go ahead, pump it. And the driver should start feeling some pressure on the clutch. And I already see the cylinder moving, so that means we have fluid going through and everything. So I have my girlfriend pumping the clutch for me. So she's holding it. She did 10 pumps and she's holding it down. So we're gonna bleed it again. And if we get nothing but fluid on this one, we're gonna call it a day. But if we get air bubbles, we'll keep going. And after this one, we have to check our reservoir because we did lose a lot of fluid. So it looks like we got a lot of fluid, and at the end I saw some air. So I'm gonna go check the reservoir, fill it up, and then have her pump it again. Okay, so she's done. I'm gonna release the nipple again. Okay, that one looked like nothing but fluid. So I think we're gonna call it a day there. So it only took 3 pumps. So that's gonna conclude this episode installing the slave cylinder. I checked the clutch pedal. Now I have a lot more pressure, which is really awesome. I'm really excited and stoked about that. So I'll test drive it. And the reason why I changed it the way I went about it was because I noticed that I was losing a lot of brake fluid in the clutch master cylinder. So I was like, okay, it's leaking somewhere. So I looked around, I looked at the clutch master cylinder. I didn't see any like gunk or leaking or any of that sort. So I went down, followed the line, and I got to the bottom and I saw the slave cylinder. And I saw a lot of fluid around there on the transmission bell housing, and I decided to replace that. If that doesn't work, the next thing to change will be the clutch master cylinder. They're both about 20 bucks, so I just decided to go with the one that was dirty and the most obvious one, and that's how I went about that. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Stay tuned for more episodes.
What really introduced me to the car scene, when I was growing up, my parents always had foreign exchange students. There would just be people coming in from all these different countries. A lot of the times it was from Japan. So I think I was around the age of 10, and this one foreign exchange student came to visit, and every time they come to visit, they bring presents. So it's kind of like a cool thing while you're a kid growing up. They brought presents for me and my brothers, and he gave me an Option DVD. And I had no idea what Option was or kind of what it was, but basically it was like my Bible to the car culture.